Hello, hello friends. This is Becky with Becky Budgets. Today I went ahead and decided to show you how I break down budgeting week to week. If you're new to this channel, my husband and I are currently on a journey to pay off $69,000 worth of debt. On April 1st, we're going to hit our first year. So in a couple days, we're going to post how much we've paid off since the beginning of this journey. And I don't think I've ever really filmed how I do this. So I end up using the calendar that comes with the Budget Mom Budget by Paycheck workbook, but you can use any calendar you have. And I always write in the check or the date check for the first week of April, or what I'm counting to be the first week of the next month. For April, it is going to be my husband's paycheck for March 30th. So the first thing I do is I sit down and write down the paydays. So my husband is going to go ahead and get paid every Thursday, which is why we are weekly budgeters. And you'll see why I do that. And then this payday is going to go towards our May budget. And the way I figure that out is by taking a look at when the first is. Because the end of April ends on Thursday and the first is on that Monday, it's not going to give us a full week. And I do count on the first paycheck or the paycheck closest to the first of the month in order to pay for our beginning of the month bills. I hope that makes sense. Now I get paid the first of every month, so I'll go ahead and write my payday down. And in this case, we're lumping it with the one on the 30th. Second thing I do is I go ahead and write down all the bills that we have for the month. So on the first of every month, we've got rent due. And then I put the amount that we have budgeted for that. On the second, we have our two Upstart loans. So we have Upstart 1, Upstart 2, and our car insurance, which is through Allstate. And I put those values down. So $940.76 for our first loan, $711.04 for the second, and $166 for the car insurance. On the third, we have the Barclay Snowball. So I use the money, instead of lumping it in for an overage, I have like a preset snowball because I don't want to lose sight of what we have for our snowball. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put B Snowball because it's Barclay. And that is a preset amount of $170, which is what we were paying on the two Barclays as minimums before. On the 5th, I have Audible due. That is paid every other month. So this month, we are going to pay $16 to that. The next set of bills are going to be due on the 8th. So we have Southwest, which I budget for $163. And then the Excel, which I budget for $250. On the 9th, our cell phone is due. So that's T-Mobile. And that is a set 100. The next bill we have due is the Chase Freedom, which is on the 12th. And that has a minimum of $119. Next set of bills are going to be on the 15th, where we have Xfinity for $172. Advantage, which is my husband's student loan, and that's $181. Microsoft Xbox is $16, so the Microsoft Pass, and then the Cricket subscription is $11. On the 17th, we have the Apple Care. Now that we paid off the Apple phone, we do pay $10 for Apple Care to extend that warranty. Then on the 21st, we have the dog's insurance, which is through Nationwide, for $160. The Apple subscription, which is $25. Then the next set of bills are on the 27th. So we have the Slate, the Chase Slate for $91. Amazon, which is $17. And then the 28th is the Apple Snowball, which we have budgeted to $57. And that's another preset amount. So after I go ahead and write down all of the bills for the month, I pick 4 highlighters. And I use these erasable highlighters so that it makes it easier. And I use 4 different colors. So this month I picked these 4. What I do is I assign each week or each paycheck of the month the bills that we're going to have to pay for that paycheck. I also pay attention to how much we are going to have allocated for that paycheck and what we're going to be able to pay. So I'm going to see if that makes sense. So I know the income for week 1, and we'll assign week 1 purple. I know that the income for week 1 is going to include the $700 that we have for my husband's paycheck, and then the $4,100 that we have for my paycheck, which means that we're going to have $4,800. Oh, and then we do get $500 from my dad. So we're going to have $5,300 to work with that pay. I'm assigning those 2 paychecks purple, so I'll go ahead and highlight those. And from this paycheck, rent needs to come out, the 2 Upstart loans, Allstate, the Barclay Snowball, Audible, and then we get another paycheck. So let's go ahead and do the math here. So we've got $2,500 for rent, $940.76 for the Upstart one, $711.04 for Upstart 2, minus $166, minus the $170, minus the $16, and that's going to leave us with about $800 extra. What I like to do is pull the natural gas up just to make the second check or the following check a little less, since we do get more income on the first check. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this Excel into the purple paycheck. And that's going to leave us with enough, hopefully, to fill some of our variable expenses. Moving on to our second paycheck, which I'm going to assign this like pastel teal to. That paycheck is going to be that. We are going to be getting about $700 that day. So we need to pay everything before the next paycheck, which includes the Southwest, the T-Mobile, and the Freedom, the Chase Freedom. So minus 163, 100, and 119. So that is gonna look good. Assigning the next paycheck green. Once again, I reset to 700, and I hope that's in frame. Let me pull that down. So I assigned it 700. I'm gonna have to move it. So this paycheck on the 13th is gonna have to pay for all the bills on the 15th. And then we have another bill on the 17th. And that gets us through to the next paycheck. So it's minus 172, the 181, the 16, the 11, and the 10. And we are still gonna be within budget. Then last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and assign the last paycheck blue. So I'll go ahead and highlight that blue. And everything that needs to get paid is everything through the end of the month, because I wanna save this paycheck for the next month. So that's going to include the Nationwide, the Apple subscription, Slate, Amazon, and the Apple Snowball. Because this paycheck goes for May. Taking a look at values again, we'll go with the 700 I have predicted for each paycheck, minus the 160, the 25, the 91, the 17, and the 57, and we're still within budget. Now that I have all of this set up, when I go ahead and do my weekly budget, which is what I film every Sunday, I take a look at the day of the first paycheck through the day before the next paycheck. And that is what gives me the information as to what bills we have and helps me be able to budget from week to week. I decided to go ahead and just show all of you the way that I set up for the month, since I am a week-to-week budgeter, in case this can be helpful to any of you. Feel free to leave in the comment section if there's anything else you'd like me to film that you may find helpful. I'm always happy to share any of the process that I usually do to set up my budget or to keep on track. I usually just don't film it because I don't think it's very interesting, but I am an open book, so feel free to let me know what you guys want to see as far as my setup goes. Well, friends, I will be back shortly with my April week 1 budget. I hope that each and every one of you had an amazing weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful work week ahead. See you later. Bye.